Uganda to sign a peace agreement in Washington to end conflict. And Iran's deputy foreign minister warns against intervening in war with Israel. Beg your pardon, Iran's deputy foreign minister warns U.S. against intervening in the war with Israel. Now the news in full. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, is pledged to enforce the Supreme Court's judgment granting full autonomy to local government and warned against any attempt to undermine the ruling by diverting legal actions. Chairman of the Commission, Dr. Musa Aliyu, gave the assurance while speaking at a high-level national dialogue on local government autonomy in the country. A statement, in a joint statement organized by Comrade Adono Stephen and Nigerian Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center in Abuja, emphasized that the policy as a critical milestone for strengthening governance had declared there. Aliyu, however, raised concerns over the misappropriation of public funds, often disguised as preparations for local government elections, saying the perversion threatens grassroots development. He made it clear that the ruling must be accompanied by practical reforms to curb corruption and enhance service delivery. In light of this, the ICPC chairman announced the launch of the Accountability and Corruption Prevention Program for local governments, a joint initiative between ICPC and the Center for Fiscal Transparency and Public Integrity. President Bola Tinubu has ordered the establishment of a committee in Benue State tasked with facilitating peace-building initiatives to restore communities affected by the recent violent attacks in the Yelawata community in Guma local government area, where over 200 people were reportedly killed by armed men. He issued the directives in Makurdi, Benue State, during a town hall meeting with stakeholders on finding lasting solution to Benue hostilities, reaffirming his commitment to resolving the ongoing clashes between farmers and herders in the north-central region, and stressed that tackling the underlying causes of the conflict is a top priority for his administration. Meanwhile, at the stakeholders meeting, the third even chairman of the Benue State Council of Chiefs, His Royal Majesty Professor James Ayase, described the violence as a well-planned genocidal invasion and land grabbing campaign by terrorists beyond the farmer-herder clashes. Benue State Governor Ayase Ntalia has been directed to work with traditional rulers, the Thirty and the Ochi Idoma, former governors, top officials and leaders in the state to create synergy for peace and prosperity. Ghanaians under the aegis of Concerned Citizens for Economic Justice and Freedom staged a protest against alleged harassment of the citizens by the Nigerian police in violation of their fundamental human rights. The protesters stormed the Nigerian High Commission in Roman Ridge, Accra, calling for the intervention of President John Mahama and his Nigerian counterpart, Bola Tinubu. Speaking on behalf of the protesters, the group convener, James Clark, appealed to President Tinubu, the Inspector General of Police, Nigeria, Kayode Egbetekun, and the Nigerian Immigration Service to take urgent action against the harassment of Ghanaians living in Nigeria. According to reports, a group of Ghanaian investors behind the development of the high-profile River Park Estate in Abuja had dragged Nigerian Inspector General of Police, Egbetekun, and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission top security officials to the Federal Court in Abuja over alleged harassment, violation of further human rights, and suppression of a completed police investigation report. Clark said he was moved to speak out after watching a video sent to him which showed a Ghanaian being mistreated. He urged the Ghanaian Commission to engage with Nigerian authorities to ensure Ghanaians in Nigeria are treated with dignity and respect, stressing the importance of mutual respect and peaceful coexistence between the two countries. In a significant milestone for regional cooperation, Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea have signed a joint partnership outlining the roadmap for the implementation of the Gulf of Guinea Gas Pipeline Project Treaty, signed by the Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekwerikpe Ekpo, and Equatorial Guinea's Minister of Hydrocarbons and Mining Development, Antonio Ondoa, the Ministry of Petroleum Resources (NNPC), thus in Abuja. Both ministers reaffirmed a mutual commitment to the full implementation of the GUP Treaty in a significant regional project for economic growth, energy security, and industrial development. The roadmap would finalize international project agreement, ratification, and deposit the project institutional documents with the United Nations. Minister Ekpo said the GUP Treaty represents a shared economic vision and a bond of trust between Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea. Congo and Rwanda to sign a peace agreement in Washington on June 27. In a joint press release from both nations and the United States Department, the warring nations have agreed to the terms of the deal aimed at ending fighting in eastern Congo after Rwanda was accused of backing M23 rebels in the east part of the country. Recall the decades-long conflict escalated in January where the M23 rebels advanced and seized the strategic Congolese city of Goma, followed by the town of Bukavu in February. The draft agreement includes provisions on respect of territorial integrity and a prohibition of hostilities, disengagement, disarmament, and conditional integration of non-state armed groups. This is Vicinity 95.3 FM, Kijine Ijesha. Global News will continue shortly. Thanks for staying tuned. For news updates and live streaming, visit our website at vicinity953fm.com.ng. For breaking news around you, send us an email at vicinitynewsroom@gmail.com or call 081 436 You can also follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at Vicinity 95.3 FM. Now, the rest of the news. The first ever Global South Economic Forum held from Monday to Tuesday in Abu Dhabi, the capital city of the United Arab Emirates, bringing together nearly 100 policymakers, scholars, and think tankers from over 20 developing nations to address the most pressing issues facing the Global South and to promote a more equitable and inclusive global economic order, which accounts for 85% of the world's population and over 40% of global GDP, becoming an important engine of global economic growth in showing great potential in terms of resources, endowment, market size, and industrial upgrading. The organizers of the event stated that the Global South Economic Forum was held at the same time as the G7 Summit to convey the voice of developing countries to the world, emphasizing the need to reform the international economic governance and promote multilateralism. Iran's deputy foreign minister has warned the United States against intervening in the war to back up its ally, Israel, adding that the country was ready to defend itself in case of escalation. Deputy Foreign Minister Kazim Gababadi said that if the United States want to actively enter the field in favor of the Zionist regime, Iran will have to use its tool to both teach a lesson to aggressors and defend its national security and national interest. The U.S. Department of State has announced the continued suspension process of foreigners applying for student visas, but will require monitoring of the social media by unlocking their social media accounts for review in an attempt to expand screening and vetting for visa applicants. Recall that the government had in May temporarily altered the scheduling of new visa interviews for foreign students hoping to study in the United States. However, under the new guideline, the department will conduct a comprehensive and thorough vetting, including online presence of all students and exchange visitor applicants. The State Department said this new development is committed to protecting the nation and its citizens by upholding the highest standards of national security and public safety through its visa process. A bit of sports, Los Angeles Lakers have been sold in a record-breaking $10 billion deal that makes the iconic franchise the highest valued sports team in U.S. history. The Lakers owners, the Bulls family, would sell their controlling interest in the team to billionaire Mark Walter, who already owns a minority stake in the franchise, while Janice Bowles would continue as Lakers governor. The deal ends the Bowles family 46-year reign over the NBA giant. 10 global news, another look at the headlines. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has pledged to enforce the Supreme Court's judgment granting full autonomy to local government and warned against any attempt to undermine the ruling by diverting legal actions. We told you that Congo and Rwanda has agreed to sign a peace pact in Washington on June 27 in a joint press release from both nations and the U.S. State Department. And lastly, you heard Iran's deputy foreign ministers warned the United States against intervening in the war to back up its ally Israel, adding that the country was ready to defend itself in case of escalation. And just before we go, the last line: the courage to continue when you fail is all that counts. That was Global News. It was edited by Aisha Ibrahim on behalf of the production crew. I am Oluwafunke Israel. Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for news nationwide at 6 o'clock. Good afternoon.